Society 4A.
With Richard.
With Richard. Is that where you got yours?
No.
Okay.
No, not these ones.
Near,
I have some on there too.
near Corvallis, Oregon. And I understand that they have a 4A just about every weekend. Is that true?
No, every month.
Once a month.
Every month.
They have a 4A, and it's usually close to Corvallis. What we went to last weekend was actually close to Portland, which is a lot closer than Corvallis.
Yeah. So that's an option for anybody who wants to go down there. That's a free 4A?
Yes, it is.
And so, and both Katie and Richard have found truffles. And we're going to be talking about, I want to just get right to it here. This is, gosh, it doesn't look like it's in focus to me. I guess that's about good. What you're supposed to see here is a flying squirrel, which one of the common mammals found in the forest that loves truffles, smells them, the little white spots here on the roots of Douglas fir or truffles, growing in a mycorrhizal relationship with the roots of the tree. And the truffles help the tree grow. They actually have little finer roots. I've got some slides coming up. They have truffles, mushrooms have much finer root systems. The mycorrhizal root systems are much finer and penetrate more of the soil than the root hairs of a plant. And so the fungus can absorb the minerals from the soil and give them to the tree and help it grow. In return, carbohydrates manufactured by the tree, simple sugars come down and help the mushroom grow, the fungus grow.
What kind of trees do they grow under?
This is a Douglas fir. It's commonly found. We have mushrooms, truffles have just about every plant in the world has some kind of mycorrhizal relationship with a fungus in its root system. Orchids, I think there's only 3 plants, and I can't remember the names of all of them, that don't have fungus, but all of the millions of others do. And truffles seem to like a particular type of tree. The truffles shown here are Oregon white truffles that favor the Douglas fir. They favor young Douglas fir. So if you're in an old growth forest, you may not find as many truffles as you would in a younger forest, fir forest, say 10 to 60 years old. You would find a lot more truffles in a younger forest.
Can I say something
Yes.
about the trees with truffles? So yeah, in the Pacific Northwest we're lucky because the truffles that are found with Douglas fir, which we have a few of around here. and not only that, but there's 3 different species of commercially harvestable truffles that are found with Douglas fir. The spring white, the Oregon white, and the black truffle. And I have the Oregon white and the black truffle over there. So, and they're all found with Douglas fir. But, and there's lots of kinds of truffles found with lots of kinds of trees. But, and then there's the European truffles. That's where the truffles were, first discovered as a delicacy. Those truffles that grow with oak and
Beech.
with buckeye, or not buckeye, but
Hazelnut.
well, they grow with hazelnut, right, and chestnut.
Ah, chestnut.
Any type of nut, I believe.
Right. But it's actually easier to find them under Douglas fir than it is to find them under any of those other kinds of trees, just because it's easier to look at in needle litter than it is leaf litter.
Yeah.
Can I make a comment before you move on? Well, I've read in lots of books that they like to be out in Christmas
Christmas tree farms?
Yes.
But those are like noble fir.
Right, and so that's a little bit of a misnomer. No, they will not be with true firs. They will
That
be
might
with Douglas
explain
fir.
why.
There are all kinds of truffles that will be with true firs, but not the kinds we're looking for.
Okay. Thank you.
So these truffles are actually shown quite a bit of distance below the forest, but the forest floor is composed of all of these needles and leaves and decaying matter that is several inches deep. And they say that truffles commonly grow down here at the interface between the mineral soil and the duff type soil that's above it. So that's where the highest percentage of them are located. And I'll show you on the next slide a little bit more about that. But, also shown here up in the tree is the spotted owl, the northern spotted owl.
Has to be barred owl because spotted owl's only like old growth.
Old
forest.
growth, exactly.
Well,
Barred owl.
not so,
That's the old.
according to this.
It's not true.
It's very true, but anyway.
Anyway, this feeds on the squirrels. The squirrels, as you know, these fungi are underground, and normally mushrooms come up. There's a little plant above the ground that makes spores, the fruiting body, and the spores are carried and spread by the wind. Well, what happened many, many years ago, as mushrooms evolved, a more advanced, an advanced version came about, which is the truffle, and that developed underground. And it developed underground because it can't dry out as quickly, and it can protect its spores. So these truffles evolved, and they created this scent, aroma, that small animals can smell it. When the spores are ready, they put out these aromas. The squirrels dig down and find them and eat the spores, and then they fly off or climb the tree or go back to their nest wherever, and everywhere they take a poop, they drop the spores, and that's how the truffles spread. And if they're unfortunate enough to get hit by an owl, the owl also, wherever it flies and poops, lays spores. And so it's a different way of moving the spores and propagating the fungus than the ones that we're used to. Anything else seen us? There's this tree is actually an oak tree. I believe it's supposed to depict that. You wouldn't find these two types of trees normally side by side in a forest system.
Maybe down behind the mountains or something.
Like
Maybe
the
more.
bird trail. They
Where they
do exist side by side.
Well, you do find oaks out Fort Lewis, and then you do find some areas that are
Yes.
Douglas fir
In
forests.
South Thurston County, along Waldrick Road, Scatter Creek, they're side by side.
Yeah.
Okay, got another question. Richard Gandy, under the oaks, are they in season now too, the European truffle?
Black truffle, yeah, I think so.
In Europe.
In Europe? Not, yeah,
No, they don't
Yeah,
come here.
we
not
won't
here.
even
There
find
are
it.
tuber species that can be found under oak here, but none of those are the commercial varieties.
Are they worth eating?
Yeah, they're edible.
In a good way? In a good way?
There's really the truffles, I don't think they found a truffle that is truly toxic poisonous like other mushrooms. However, there are false truffles which can be extremely poisonous, as toxic mushrooms. So you have to be careful. It's hard sometimes to distinguish between the two, and we'll talk about that later. This kind of shows the evolution of what happened. We started off with a mushroom, and it slowly evolved under the pressures, environmental pressures of hot, dry weather that follows wet season fruiting. The regular mushroom, when it gets hit by hot, dry weather, will shrivel up before it has a chance to spore. So the evolution came that this went underground.